Well, good morning, traders. Let's get this big for a minute. Did some overnight in Asia last night. First, let's look at all that overnight business. We're about to take this 4-hour high right here, so I may stop and just kind of chill out. But we have some interesting features. Last night, we traded down into this regular trading hour gap. And then, if you haven't noticed, I got a brand new microphone here, so you should be able to hear me all right. And then we also have above the market a regular trading hour gap. And, yesterday we just went straight down, and we pushed into it, didn't even make it to 50%, and then adios payah, we went. Now, we did have a number coming out. I think we had one at 9 this morning. These are all private sector numbers, so they are actually coming out. Let's see here. ISM just came out, manufacturing. So, because we're working into this 4-hour regular trading hour high, I don't take trades. I try not to. Sometimes I do. In the first 30 minutes, I let that pan out. That's our opening range, and we just now completed it. So I would be marking that out as opening range high and low. There we go. And then the opening range low, I'll just clone this one and move it down there. All the way down to here. And I'll change the wording on it. Because that number just came out. Oh, I forgot the E. There we go. I gotta fix it up here too. That'll drive me crazy. My neighbor is across the street. Pretty good ways off, but I've got my windows open. I got clothes in the dryer. And that's the high of the opening range right there. No, right there. 10 o'clock. Yeah, that's the high. So we poked the high. We poked this 4-hour regular trading hour high. This is a potential breaker. Right now, we're just looking at the narrative of the day. Okay, so let's make it big again. And let's do a daily candle, and I'm just going to remove all of these lines, everything. So from a daily perspective, this was our push down from yesterday. This candle right here, retracing to the halfway point, would be a good spot. Just eyeballing it somewhere around 25.8, and then possibly pushing down, and that would put us right about half that gap, I would imagine. And we're working through this gap here. And these are daily candles, so it doesn't show the other regular trading hour gap that's down here. One thing interesting that I do see, this low right here, we did not take. It's a volume imbalance on the daily chart right here. Well, it's going to put all my lines back on. That's a volume imbalance right there. I'm just going to get rid of that, and I'll just point at it, hide them again. And this came down close to it, creating relative equal lows on the daily chart. But this one is also the weekly low. No, it's not. Maybe it is. No, this is where we got right there. So it's not a weekly low. Not a weekly low. It's weekly half. So I don't know. It's ambiguous as to where we're going next. But it is a daily, and I think if we go to 4 hour and we go to regular trading hours, I had one of those marked on here that was a daily and a weekly, but it must be all the way down here. So regular trading hour gap here, regular trading hour gap here, and we're working in this. This is actually a new week opening gap. We just took that 4 hour high, and we are pulling back a ways. That number just came out, so it's a little bit ambiguous for me. We opened pretty close to settlement. Let's see, regular trading hour. Where's our open? Yeah. Right there. That's our open candle right here. And so we opened pretty close to settlement. I think I have my settlement off because I had it at 67. Yeah, that's right. So we actually opened a little bit below settlement, pushed up, and then kind of aimed down for a second, and then we've been to the moon ever since. As far as yesterday's price movement, that's all of it, and we're kind of working up into it right now. I'm still waiting for a narrative to take place. This was the 4 hour high. We failed to validate that breaker. We didn't have any fair value gaps beneath it. This could be a higher low, but so far right now, I see nothing. I'm going to put the lines back on now. So this is our 4 hour high. This is the new week opening gap high. This one did not validate, but it is currently, well, actually it would be down here now because we have a new high. This would be our new breaker right there. And we're just going to tape read. We're just going to watch and see what happens next. Ideally, I would like to see us work up into this area and then reject. But I don't know if we'll get there or not. Maybe we just poke this new week opening gap and then fall out of bed. Maybe we take these highs. If we look at it from a little higher time frame perspective, what do we got there? So we were it was high resistance. It was down day, but it was high resistance. So we had a lot of pushes back up that were 50-point candles, and I mean it was rough. It was a rough day for me. I got some of my money back during the day, and then I got a little bit more back during the. I got all of it back during the evening session, but during the Asia on that sell-off, I'm gonna pull this up. If anybody says anything in chat, I'm looking at it on my phone, so it'll be. Pull this up. If anybody says anything in chat, I'm looking at it on my phone, so it'll be. Yeah, it looks like I got pretty low latency. If anybody says anything, I'll be able to respond on my phone, and I'm Don Potter. That's how I'll be responding. There we go. I'm gonna put howdy, folks. That way you know it's me, Don Potter 2800, Mr. Top Fan himself. Okay, so looks like we kind of poked up high, fell out of bed for a minute. Let's see what that looks like on a smaller time frame. So we poked the high again, opening range high, didn't quite make it to the end wall, left these highs. This is something something I noticed yesterday, and usually whenever it's hard to remember everything you got to remember when you're trading. See that candle right there is 45 points, a little bit more than 45 points. If you look at the average candle length here, with the wicks and everything, it looks like we're having like 20-point average maybe. This one here is 36 points. This one, that's 38 points. This big green one is 32 points. Something I noticed when we're volatile like that, we're moving that far in 1 minute, your stop needs to be at least that much. So if you're, that one's 22 points. That one would be okay. But just because we've had these in here, this one's 45 points. If you're on one mini, you got to have $1,000 stop loss in a market that volatile. That's 37 points. If you get a perfect entry, you might be okay. But I mean, this entire rip to the upside right here in 2 minutes is 68 points. That's extremely volatile. So even if you're just trading one micro, you're looking at, you know, putting at least a $50 stop, a 50-point stop loss on there, $100 on the risk. So to me right now, this is too volatile. I will still take the trade if we validate the breaker, but I'm not going to put on much size. If I do one micro, it'll be a 100-point stop loss, and if I do 2 micros, it's going to have to be not one would be a 50-point stop loss, so that'd be $100. And I don't know I want to risk it with these volatile conditions. I need to see something very convincing. We did try to push into the high of the new week opening gap and failed. I'm gonna go close that utility room door so it's not so loud. Right. So we pushed down to the breaker, did not validate. Really, I'm not seeing a whole lot that would make me want to just jump into this thing right now. We did take this regular trading hour high. It would be yesterday's afternoon high, I believe. It happened at 2:02. Yep. So that would be afternoon high. This one was lunch macro high. So that one is definitely a point of contention. A reversal here would be I would take it. I just need to see a good clean signal. If we switch to a 15-second chart, do we have one? Not really. This was such a rapid run up. The breaker's exactly the same, because that was such a rapid run. And you'll see that after a number like that ISM manufacturing number came out. And we also had ADP, which is private sector job report. It came out at 7:15. To me, this breaker being at 50 is suspect, because we like to return to 50. It's a psych level. Go back to a 1 minute. Yeah, I'm not impressed with anything I'm seeing right now. ICT does, he will confidently trade an inversion fair value gap. I will not. I just don't know that much about them. We are pushing below the breaker here now. That's good, I guess. Could be just running the lows. I was watching a trade pre-market that did a similar setup to this. You can't see it in here, but it's part of that PD array, I think. We do extended. So pre-market low is here, right there. And we did a similar setup to this right here, where we had gone up and then we came down, we ran the highs, then we went and made a new high. And then we kind of chopped around a while and then went on up. That candle right there was a big near 30-point rip to the downside just to go straight back up. And it did go to the new week opening gap low. This is new week opening gap center, that red dotted line, and that's the new week opening gap high. And this is the gap from 2 weeks ago. We also have another new week opening gap. It looks, I deleted all my lines, so it's gone right now. But we have one up here as well. October 31, November 2. So yeah, that would be it right there, where we closed here and we opened there. I'm going to mark it out. Because the market does refer to them. And that was this week. So make sure I got it right on the line there. Yeah, it's there. Okay. So how does that look in relation to where we are now? We're not quite there. This little section right here, I traded that during Asia. I think it was. Yeah, during Asia. And I put quadrants on it. And I actually put an order to go short right here at the base of it. After we did this push down, I thought it might come back and touch the base of it. And it missed me. It missed me by just a little bit. I think it was this candle right here that I was expecting to fill me. The high of that one is 81.75, and I had my order at 84 even, which my line was a little bit off, or it wouldn't have got filled either way. But yeah, that one I would have been in short 4 micros for a push that continued the remainder of the day. This is the highest we got back up close to it right there. So right now, it looks like we pushed below the breaker, and now we're going straight back up. So we took out this low, nice fair value gap to the upside. We took out that low, and now we're trying to push back up. Continuation trades for me are difficult, but sometimes if you fail to validate a breaker, it could mean more upside. I am not in any way interested in taking anything other than a perfect setup today. I've been doing that, trying to force my will upon the market, I guess is what you'd say. Like looking at it and thinking, oh, I think we're going up. And then throwing on one micro and seeing what happens with the hypo that I'm not going to be wrong every time. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can be wrong every single freaking time because I've done it. So I'm only going to do A plus, triple A quality setups. This one, if we were to validate with a nice fair value gap beneath all this, I would take it because it meets my criteria. We've taken out a regular trading hour, 4-hour high, and if we validate, the only thing I don't like about it is it's not clean. I would prefer a boom, that is clearly where we were headed, and then a push down a little quicker than what we're seeing now. It doesn't make this an area where no trade would be possible, but I would prefer to see a little bit cleaner reversal instead of consolidating up there. But you could also view that as big money getting their orders in for a push down. I don't know. So far, all I see is consolidated trash. And we have this volume imbalance here. It could be reaching for that for more upside. It's just a question mark at this point. No fair value gaps beneath the breaker whatsoever. Our first presentation fair value gap would be a good thing to mark out. And it looks like it's right here. Yep, way down there. Right there. So I'm going to mark it. It's small, but that doesn't mean it's not mighty. The algorithm will refer to it even though it's small. I'm going to label it. There we go. All right. Well, we did a push. Did we have a fair value gap? Nope. But we did have a nice push. Middle of the end walk to the tick. Worked into this fair value gap here. Yeah, I would be tempted to take a long there just because we touched that, but I'm not going to. Son of a gun. My coffee's hot. I've had it cooked for a while now and it's still not cooling off. I need to take that lid off, let it cool off a minute. Yep, look at that. Middle end walk doing work. If you watched that one from New York session yesterday, I actually put quadrants on this entire thing and price danced very nicely in between all of those quadrants. You can look at this. You can say we touched it, went up, got to the halfway point, kind of hung out a second, all the way up 75%, middle. Now we're pushing through the 75%, and I would say that's the next target. But I'm trying not to get too many things on the chart. I can eyeball that and see that's about the 70. That's the middle of these two. So I don't need the extra lines. But that to me, probably should have taken a long there. But I'm not gambling today. We may just work this gap all day. We may just range. There was an interesting 4-hour candle arrangement in the extended hours. I'm going to show it to you. Over here. Yeah, right here. I am in extended. In that bar coding on a 4-hour chart. I was expecting it to go somewhere, and I kind of got my butt handed to me on a trade there in the middle of the night. I think a person could enter there long, be all right. Right at 71, right about there. For a push to that high, as that pokes the 25%, and this fair value gap crossed through it. Yep, that worked out just right. So going up to here is most likely where we're heading next. We'll see what happens when we get there. Will we be working the NWOG, or will we instead work into this gap? Maybe we dance between the NWOGs. So the narrative so far to me is, let's go to the moon. Almost 9:30. Usually when I see this happen is at 9:30. Is that coinky dink? I mean, how close is that? That looks like a to the tick touch. One of the things, it's not quite to the tick. One of the things ICT said when I was watching his quadrant video is fair value gaps that pass through those quadrant carry the most weight. So we had that one. And if I put them on here, this one's at the 75%. And look where we referred to. So that would mean if we push through here and a fair value gap is present, that would be our next referral point. It would need to be respected for sure. Let's just, for argument's sake, while we're doing nothing, I'm going to put the quadrants back up here. And you can see this fair value gap is the one that pushed through this quadrant. And we referred back to it, and then adios paya. Interesting. So I guess likewise, if we start inverting these things, this one would be a point of contention. That we would need to invert it, come back, respect the middle portion, and then continue on down. Excuse me. It's allergy weather over here for me. I always keep a little bit of a sniffles and cough, but there are times of year where it's a little worse. And this is one of those times. $34, $37 pullback. That's volatile, guys. That's volatile. You would need, in order to stay in these trades, unless you have an absolute perfect entry, that's 32 points. So you would need a very big stop loss. $27, $37, $31. Yeah, we're volatile. We are volatile. I measured that one earlier. 38. You're going to have a perfect entry. You can make a lot of money quick with candles that are putting up 38 points in 1 minute. But you can lose a lot real quick too. That would have been a nice entry for a continuation right there. But I missed it. I'm not going to do any continuations today. I'm doing reversals. We may end up having another directional day, but I doubt it. But I think at some point we're going to put up a nice reversal pattern. And I'm just going to be patient and wait for it. Well, that's just about put me to sleep, folks. We got nothing. Looks like somebody else looked at us for a minute. Oh, we got two people. We got another person in here. Who's in here with me? Say hi in the chat. I thought I was all by myself. I hope you can hear me okay because I got me one of those new microphones. I did an audio check prior to market beginning. Once again, we made a new high of the day here, but we're not having a clean reversal. We do have a new breaker right there. Extremely volatile still. Big pullbacks, high resistance. This is MNQ over here. I don't have any lines on that chart, and it's a 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart. Just wicked into that big fair value gap. It's just ambiguous right now. Where are we heading? What's going to be next? Let's get the 30-minute that gives us any more clues. Yesterday was so high resistance. I mean, we really didn't even have any fair value gaps on that thing. Look at that. Nothing. Every single candle until we get way up here at 827. There's a tiny little fair value gap on the 30-minute right there. Let's look at the 1 hour. Okay, we're working into a 1 hour fair value gap. That's nice. High of it is 724. That's right at NWOG. Another little one here. And then we go into balanced range. Interesting that we pushed down so far in Asia. We did put up a nice reversal pattern when we got there. I think we're extended over here. This one right here, it's a real nice reversal pattern, and we revisited it. Let's see if we can find that. That was 6 a.m. Well, here's a reversal pattern for Asia right there. I was actually short because we didn't quite take out that gap down there. We left it by just a few points. Left it open, but on this, breakers here, we did double tap the low right there. Double tap the low, kind of just consolidated, made a higher low, and then validated the breaker there. That was our entry point, and adios paya. Never did look back after that. We did that 4 hour consolidation there, took out the low of that 4 hour consolidation, and we've been going up ever since. Okay, so we poked that high, and that actually filled that 1 hour fair value gap on yesterday's price action. Filled it. Does that mean we go higher? Or is this a possible reversal point? Let's see how the candle bodies respect that thing. Is it going to take us an entire hour to find out? No, we'll go to a smaller time frame and just see what it's looking like. So we filled it, and now we're dancing around the middle. I like the idea of us using this as an exhaustion wick and we reverse from here. We have a new high, so we have a new breaker right there. I'm actually going to put a quadrant on this exhaustion wick, and if we can respect the halfway point of it, I might enter a short here. So far we're respecting it there, halfway points here. I want candle bodies staying below that, because that definitely looks like an exhaustion wick. I would like to see a more rapid pullback though. From the high to the breaker, I bet we got 43 points from the high to the breaker. So it would be quite a stretch to get above the high of the day there. I like the way it's performing around that wick right there. I'm going to try one. Just one. We're volatile. I'll do it at that center point of the 4 hour or the 1 hour. Right there, we're filled. I'm using this as my order block / breaker, and the fact that we did not have any candle bodies pierce the halfway point of that thing. We still could, but I like this PD array here. And entering there gets we would have to make a new high of the day in order to lose this trade. So I like that too. Where might we offer to? Well, if we continue down, this would be a good place to add on an inversion, possibly middle. I mean, that's pre-market high. Maybe we return to settlement. Maybe we get to the opening range low. First prez, I don't know. Maybe we go straight back up and I get stopped out. But I like this PD array. If I have a candle body close above that halfway point, then I'm just going to take the trade off. Wicks can go up there, but bodies need to stay below. That one closed just open slightly above. I think we need to take this one off. We can get another push down. I'll kill it. We're not going to get a push down. Preserved a couple of dollars there. All right, so we're going to the moon. This is no longer in play. It's worth a shot. Suppose somebody could take a continuation trade here. This is no longer in play either. I mean, on a 1 hour it could be, but we just took these two wicks. Maybe that would be it. I don't know. We have a new breaker. Another potential order block. Yeah, I think I was one exhaustion wick too soon. That's the way it be sometime. Yeah, I'm liking this. I am liking this. Middle of this guy. Try one more time here. I'm going to try 2 this time. Oh, I can't do it over there. I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to try it that wick. 2 of them. Let's just take a peek here. Yeah. That wick right there. I want a wick test. At 10. Mm-mm. Doesn't look like we're going to get it. My entry would be right there at 7. So I will move it down a little bit if I'd have to. We need to put this candle to finish. It may not even be a fair value gap. Yeah, looks like it is. Okay, so can I get an entry? I'll try it at round number. I'm gonna have to move my stop immediately because I got it set at $50. So I need to move it to the halfway point of that wick. That would be $122 on the risk. Man, that is pushing much higher than I expected. It's a volatile market. There's my opportunity to get out. I still like this PD array though. I'm missing something? This looks good. If we were just going to take out a low and go straight back up, which one would it be? Probably this one. Sure would like to see a fair value gap pushed down below here. I might even add if I got one. Come on. There we go. Good, 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 good. A little lower and stay open. $85.75, $85.50. So it took it by a tick. We kind of popped back up. Potential fair value gap right here, very small one, but I'll take a small one right there. If it stays open, we may not stay open. $80 to round numbers, pretty common. 17 seconds. Will this thing stay open? Man, it's jumping. I got it zoomed in. That's why it looks so jumpy. It didn't stay open. Son of a gun. Did not stay open. Volatile. Look at that run. That's 30 points right there. 35 points from the rip down to the rip back up. If this thing goes low, I think we could go quickly. But if it goes higher, we're going to go quickly too. So, oh man, it's a nail biter. A true nail biter. I shouldn't even be in this trade based on my breaker system, but on that order block up there, I've just seen those react so often. We didn't touch it to the tick, but we respected it. That would be our breaker right there. I mean, our order block. We may go back to it. I may get spanked on this one. breaker top is right there. I mean, we've got the components. We have an exhaustion wick. The second one, we took out some higher time frame highs. We're pulling back. We've traded below the breaker, but no fair value gap. We did get a fair value gap right here after the order block. I don't know. But we are in a directional day. So far, we've had no pullback. I think I'm about to get spanked again. Sure does look like it. I am convinced enough that I'm about to get spanked that if we can get back down to round number, I may take this off and wait for my validation. I'd still think we're going lower, but the market has never cared what I think. Unless it just rips through here with authority and makes a new low, I'm going to take it off. Oh, come on. I mean, it's volatile son of a gun right here. Filled in that volume imbalance. It could literally go either way. It really could. I just don't know if I want to risk that much money. I just lost 50. If I lose that, that'll be 200 on the day. Yep, there it went. That's got to go. Still respecting that wick, but I don't see it happening. Candle bodies are still respecting this exhaustion wick. We do have a higher low. I still want out, but I don't know, man. I'll let it ride for a minute. That one never did materialize as a fair value gap. Maybe we'll get one here. Maybe I should just get the heck out and say we're ranging here for a while. Hey, how about we do that? How about we do this and wait for this guy to validate? I mean, that is a big fair value gap to the downside right there. Opening range low. See how big this thing ends up being. Breaker's right at 700. That's where I was. We took that low just now. Left this one. Let's let this candle finish. We got a lot of room down below if we do decide to go lower. But we could just be ranging here. 701. So that was a good kill. I would be in the hole again right now and sweating bullets. Oh my gosh, look at that crap. All the way back to order block. No fair value gap. None. It filled it all the way back in. That was a good kill. I actually made 50 bucks on it, so happy with that. Now I'm going to be a good boy and I'm going to wait. We need a fair value gap below this breaker. Order block is doing work. Uh-oh, I put PO instead of low. Okay. And this would be our bearish breaker. So I think that trade I just took got me about even on the one I took earlier. But this is definitely looking like we're going to the moon now. Candle body, will it close above the halfway point of this wick? Which I view this as an exhaustion wick. We still respected that son of a gun so far. Crazy. These are not just little bitty swings either, guys. Look at this. From there all the way down to here. That's 56 freaking points. That's a big range. We are definitely respecting. This candle body respected the low of this guy. If you look at the breaker itself, the candle bodies are closing below the breaker. They're not respecting the halfway point yet. I don't know. This is just one wild, big old range right now. I sure hope I get a trade here in a minute. But this is encouraging. 2 times, that's a lower high, lower high. We just need a fair value gap. I mean, at this point, I want to invert this guy right here. That would be my ideal entry, is if we could invert this one. So that's 75% of the NWOG quadrants. So that's the, from top to bottom, this would be the 75%, 50%. So if we could push through this and then go back and touch it and start heading back down, I mean, that would be an all right situation. Right now, this is a very dirty situation. We could just take that low by a tick and go straight back up all the way to the top. No, I'm not interested in that. Clean reversals only. This is not clean. I see we got another person in here. Say hello in the chat so I know who you are, and let me know if my audio is better than it has been, because I got a microphone now, and I feel like I did some testing on it. Seems like it's a whole lot better quality on the audio. I was going to tell a story. I'll wait till I get back. One thing I don't like about this microphone, I had an option of buying several, and some of them had a mute button, so when I blow my nose or cough or whatever, I can mute it. And this one doesn't have that, so I have to click it on the OSB. And sometimes when I go to clicking that, I forget I have it off, and it stays off forever. This is painful, but this is the way the market's been behaving. We did have a ADP employment data come out and ISM manufacturing data come out. Those are both private sector. They're not related to the government, but they do move the market. Sweet Mary. It's after 11. The market has not reversed. Does that, the rule is there, it probably won't, okay? If it's after 11 and the market has not reversed, it probably won't. That's what you hear if you've been in this business long enough. Heard it since I first started. And I'm looking for a reversal pattern. So should I just be looking for a pullback instead of a reversal pattern? To me, I'm seeing a market that is unwilling to go higher or lower. It's not doing anything right now. We went high, we went up, we took out the top of the new week opening gap, and now we're just real happy there. Man, this mic's good enough you can hear the birds chirping outside. All right. I'm convinced. I'm going to try to take a short right here with 1 micro at 700 even. And that'll put my, I'll sell 1, maybe if I can get filled. That'll put my stop above the high, I think. Not quite. It'll be above the 50%. But this looks rolly. It looks rolly. I don't know if I'll even get filled. We went back to that fair value gap at the 75% mark. If we can get back, I like this. I like this possibility. We did have that volume imbalance there. Kind of want to get in there because I think when we go, I think we're going to go. If we're going to go, I think it's going to be rapid. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and chase. I'm going to get in right there, and I may regret it, but I think we're about to fall out of bed here, guys. That's what I'm seeing here. Maybe 100% incorrect. And I really need to put my stop up here above the highs just in case. It just looks like we're about to roll over in a big way. We can invert that fair value gap there. I'm going to add 1 more position. But I will be moving my stop a little closer so I don't risk too much. If we can invert this, by inverting it, I mean pass through it and then respect the center portion with any pullback. That's when I would want to add. Push on through. These candle bodies closing below. Nothing yet. We do finally have some fair value gaps below the breaker. I like that. But until we get through this one, I won't be convinced that we're going lower. This is our bearish. This was a bullish. No candle bodies have closed below yet. I think $75 is our entry. 75. Well, that'll work too. 74.50. So now we got 2 on. Let's see if we can get a mass exodus. At least down to the middle. At least down to here. Man, that put my average entry at 80. Son of a gun. That ain't good. You've got about 10 seconds to go, and I'm killing this son of a gun. Go, you dirty rat. Now we're respecting that again. Let's go. All right, new low. Let's get a new low. On this candle, new low. Let's do one of them 50-point candles like you've been doing, crazy son of a gun. We can't get below it. We can't make a new low. I'm going to go to break even. If we don't respect that fair value gap right there, this trade's done anyway. New low. Let's, son of a gun. High resistance. Everything's high resistance these days. We can't just go anywhere. We got to have 10 and 20 point pullbacks on every single run. 30, 40, 50 point pullbacks. Look at that. Look at that. I hate this market right now. I freaking hate it. We'll probably respect that and continue down. But why do we got to rip up 25 points? Why can't we just go somewhere? It's a 21 point, maybe 22. So now we are still respecting this. But do we trust it? Because we're still respecting this too. I don't trust it. If we come back up here and touch the breaker, maybe then I'll look at the. Yeah, let's get some more downside. 'Cause right now, it's showing the signs. I just don't want to lose any freaking money because it's not a good signal, not at all. Let's see what we can do here. Opening range high, perhaps. Did not respect. Man, I'm glad I put that at break even. Oh my goodness. Sure would be nice to make some money. This is at 75% quadrant. Fair value gap was respected, and we're going to the freaking moon. We're going to go back to that end log right there, I bet you. I bet we make a new high. But I can't get involved with that. I mean, I love the idea of a long here. I do. Let's look at it from a breaker perspective. We're just in a range, though. I really can't look at it from a breaker perspective because the breaker that I'm seeing is to the downside. I'm going to try it. Right here. 707. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try to buy one at 707. 708 rather. Maybe we can push up to yesterday's high or something. I like the fact that we respected this. This was trash. I don't think we're going to get another opportunity to enter down here. But it's so volatile, we may. The reason I would want to enter there is because this is a fair value gap, and I like to enter one tick above. This actually here is a volume imbalance. I could try to enter at 11. I'll do that. If we get a pullback. That would be a decent entry. That fair value gap did work, didn't it? And so I think we're going to go trading into this yesterday's gap, which we did get halfway into it yesterday. The possibility of reaching up into it again, I guess, is pretty high. It's an interesting day. Lots of features on the chart. Man, it ripped down there, but didn't quite get to me, did it? Got down to what, 16? 15? I think that's it. That's as far down as it's going. I'm going to try to get back in at the end log at 22. End log top. Don't think I'm going to get filled. Half of that wick. I'll try it at 24. So far, it is respecting the halfway of that wick. Come on, give me a little bit right here. Come on. Wick test. 37, possibly. You dirty rat, Fink. It won't fill me. As soon as it fills me, it's going back to end log. 37 to 22. I got 25 points. Let's see, maybe. You. There we go. Now stop me out, you sorry bastard. If the market hasn't reversed by 11, it probably won't. I'm going to put one just in case we poke back down for a second. I'm going to put one to go long at the end log. Add to it at 22. Man, if it came back that far, it nearly stopped me out. I think I'll just leave it alone. All right, yeah, we'll do it. 22. Buy one at 22. Could be looking at this as a reversal. Holy cheese balls. Why can't we go somewhere? We go somewhere and then we do this garbage. All freaking day. We go somewhere, then we do this garbage. Go somewhere, do this garbage. Jiminy Christmas. I have no patience for this. London's closed. This could have possibly been the London close. Yeah, London MOC. We've got all this gap up here. We won't go into it at all. I'm about to kill this trade just because I can't stand this crap. Yeah. I seriously lack patience for this kind of garbage. Taking lows, taking highs, taking lows, taking highs. As soon as I kill it, it's gonna go. As soon as I freaking kill it. I'm killing it though. I can't stand it anymore. NASDAQ, you're on drugs. What's gold doing? Basically the same crap. What's ES doing? See, it's going to go as soon as I kill it. I don't even want to see it. ES is going up and up and up while NQ is just sitting in this consolidated garbage. I tell you what, I will go long at the top of the NWOG. 1. If I get a pullback to there, then I'll buy. And that's it. And I don't even like the idea of doing that right now. But just because ES is cranking higher, I think NQ will most likely pull back to our NWOG. All this is garbage. I mean, if we were gonna have a reversal here, this is our freaking breaker. This is not even in contention anymore. We don't want to get into that gap at all. I'm not even going to mess with it. Wonder what crude's doing. Oh, I put it on the wrong one. Why is it over there? Oh man, crude's falling out of bed. Looks like it's about to take a low though. A set of lows. That would be kind of cool. Take a long in crude right about the time it takes those lows. I might just trade crude. Yeah, I might just trade crude instead. Now look, we're finally breaking that high. We finally made it to 50 after a freaking hour. It hadn't been an hour, but it's been 15 minutes just sitting there doing nothing. No, dadgummit. 15 minutes. I should have just put a turtle trade above all that garbage for when it broke, but I don't like doing that. So yeah, this is a really nice straight line in crude. So getting involved when we break these lows might be something worth looking at. Let's look at, dang it, look at that. I knew it was going to break as soon as I killed it. So if we were going to get involved with NQ, 50 would be a good spot. I get so impatient with this garbage. I really, really do. That would have been a good trade. I would have made money on it. But I'm liking this. Let's look at a daily on it, on the MCL. So daily, we have these. We also have these. So we may take these and pop up, but we may go after those. That's all the way down here to 59. That'd be a whole $1. Crude doesn't usually move more than $1.50 or so in a day. And so far we've moved nearly $2. We just took that low. See if we get a reversal pattern over there. We just took it. It's straight selling off so far. I'm gonna try one. Just because we took the lows and going back to round numbers. Fairly likely. Good entry right there on a little pullback. If I'd have been more patient, this one's running for the hills. I'm missing the whole shooting match. I haven't traded crude in several years. Well, at least two years. I used to watch Deanna on Top Step. She was a crude oil trader, and she used market profile and all of that. And I went through learning that system. One thing crude does like to do is revisit round number. And the fact that we took out these lows, we do have more lows. We do have these. And we could be reaching for that one. So maybe it would be best to err on the side of caution here. Let's look at a 1 minute. And let's just see if we got a reversal pattern. We have order block here. Volume imbalance to the upside. I like that. I'm just going to take my risk off and just let it run. Let's see what happens. Reversion to the mean would be half the day's range. So that would be right here at 6035. That'd be about all you could really hope for on a trade like that. See what kind of profit that would get me. Yeah, 44 bucks. Not bad. This is what's that's making me mad. This is probably going to stop me out at $2, and then I will have missed my trade over here. But this one will eventually find a high, and it'll put up a reversal pattern. Let's look at a 1 hour. I mean, yesterday was such a high resistance day. We really don't have a lot to go by. 800 if possible. That's a 1 hour high right there. This is actually the open today. We opened here, we just took it out. We went up. Did we take out any highs up here? No, we didn't. Came down, swept the lows. So this would be the opening range high right there. And now we just swept the opening range low. You can get a 15-minute candle closing back inside the opening range. The chances of going all the way back through it are pretty good. But the fact that we're trying to pull back, I don't know. Opening range low is right there. Yeah, we're about to get smoked. There it went. All right, so no more crude oil for me. That might be a possibility. These look like candy to me. I think we're in a directional day. Again, you know, prior to the government shutdown, directional days happen 30% of the time. Since the government shutdown, they're happening 90% of the freaking time. We'll just go up all freaking day long and then go down all day long. No reversal. This was a crazy move last night. We went all the way down to bottom here, and then now look at us today. All the way right back up. If you put regular trading hours on here, or extended hours on here, look at that. Yesterday was like a 500-point swing. We opened, well, that's where we had settled the day before. From there all the way down to here, that's 860 points. I put that as a daily, weekly low, and I don't think it is. Yeah, I messed up on that. It's just a daily low. It's relative equal lows on the daily chart. I thought we might head down there today. Yeah. So there's a low. And there's a low. We didn't quite take it out. Didn't quite take the gap. Yeah, I'm getting rid of crude. Let's see what else we got over here. ES, what are you doing now? Straight up. Did it have a gap over here too that it's trying to fill? Ooh, ES has a nice little point right there it could be reaching for. That would correspond well with our 1 hour on NQ at 800. 6850 is a reversal point often for ES. Kind of like the possibility of all that. All of my lines, whenever you pull up a contract and you haven't been looking at it in a while, it puts every line you've ever put on this chart in the history of you. Why it does that, I don't know, but that's what it does. So, yeah, I see that being a point of contention. That would be yesterday's afternoon high. Yeah, AM high right there. That's as high as it went as far as gap fill goes. Yeah, that's yesterday's high right there. And we still have that gap to work into. That's interesting. It's a 4-hour RTH for ES. I like that. So we opened, we went, took out the low. Look at that. We opened and we went and took out the low. Wow. That's not right. That's not right. That's yesterday. We opened and then we went and took out the low. Today we opened and we've been going pretty much straight up. Consolidated here, and now we're going up. Reaching for that. Possibly this. That would be settlement from Monday or whenever that was. And settlement from yesterday would be at 3:15 right here. I like that as a possible inversion. On the daily candle from yesterday, if you're a billionaire, you don't want to buy way down at the bottom. That's the entire day. $8.16 is the 50% mark. I'm going to mark that. I just call it 50%, but if I was ICT, I would call it consequent encroachment. Okay, so let's get rid of this guy. I'm liking a possible situation here. Look at this. Let's say we get to 50% of yesterday. The bears say, I'm willing to sell here. Or even if we pushed up to there, that'd be fine too. But simultaneously, ES takes out its afternoon high, which would only put us to about right there. And then we put up a nice reversal pattern, and we go back to settlement. That would be pretty sweet. That's what I'm going to be playing for right there, people. Right there. If that pans out, I'll try it. Yep, I like that as a possibility. It may be MOC before it happens, but I like it as a possibility. I should have been more patient in that consolidation. I don't know if y'all know you can do this, but I'm not trading any big contracts right now. So I can add symbols that I don't want to trade. And because if I accidentally try to put on a big one, it won't let me. So I have NQ and ES on there where I can't trade those. You could also put in limits. I only want to do 4 micros right now, so I could put in a symbol limit, MNQ 4. So there's lots of ways for you to I like this trade clock. You need an active position. I like that, but you could also do a personal lockout, like say, I'm not going to trade for the next 15 minutes. You can do that too. That's pretty cool. But I like this because I've made a mistake of accidentally putting on 2 NQs and losing just like that. I've done that so many times. Alright, so we're pulling back without taking that 4 hour. I don't know, guys. I'm ready for bed. I think I should just put an alert in my phone and then go lay down and and come back later. I don't know. Lunchtime macro, we could get a pullback here. Maybe this little PD array. I wouldn't trust a short, not at this. I mean, you could take a short, but I wouldn't trust it, not at this hour. It's too late in the day. We haven't taken any significant levels in a good long while. So I think this is a good level to aim for. I don't know that we'll get all the way up to here, but possibly. That's our breaker right there. No fair value gaps whatsoever. High resistance, choppy, choppy, choppy. What kind of candle lengths are we got going on now? It's a little bit more tame, I think. 17-point candle. Yeah, we're slowing down on the volatility. That's good. This is a 17-point candle. See how big this one is. 16 points. That one looks to be about the same. 17 points. So yeah, we're definitely within a 25-point. If your stop loss is 25 points and you have a good entry, you should be good as far as volatility goes. I'm going to call it the live stream for now. I may come back on at 1:30 and do an afternoon session, because I think this level and that level for ES are players. I'm going to put in an alert in my phone so it'll wake me up. I'm going to go take me a nap because I only got about 4 hours sleep last night. Yep. All right, fellas. I mean, we are putting a fair value gap to the downside here, but we're biting into this one on a bullish day. So I don't trust a short here. I just don't. I should just trade my system and not worry about what I trust and what I don't. But I just view this as a pullback. It's an opportunity to get in long, I think. Lunch macro, typically a 15-minute chart. The last candle before the lunch began, so that would be at 27, possibly all the way to NWOG. That's where you'd want to target. Right there as your retrace for more upside. If it doesn't get down to there, I wouldn't mess with it. But on a directional day, that's typically what ICT teaches. The last 15-minute candle before the pullback. That would correspond well with the NWOG. Technically, we could try to enter here and go for that. But we may just go straight there without even giving an opportunity to enter. Because it's a liquidity run. Possibly. I'm going to mark that and see if we react when we get there. We put the same PD array situation on both. This is the breaker for ES right there. And we did pull away with a fair value gap. Now we're working into that fair value gap. But we also came down, tapped into this volume imbalance. Let's see where its 15-minute candle would be. It's right here at 37. And that would put it into a fair value gap to the upside. This one, we're actually working into its fair value gap. We filled it in. I just don't trust a short right now. Don't do it. I don't do it. We invalidated the fair value gap. Now we're pushing through the breaker. I think that was our opportunity to get long again and aim for that blue line. Breaker to the upside there. See if it respects that fair value gap. 42. What's it looking like over here? We didn't really sweep. We swept into that fair value gap, respected it. Breakers here. This is a possible fair value gap to the upside there, but it's still forming. There's one there on the way up. I'm going to try long with NQ if I can get filled. Look at how different the charts look. One tick above the low of this candle. Could be a return to the breaker and adios paya to the downside. So I'm gonna have to watch it real closely here. I feel like this was a run back down to the consolidation, and then we're gonna push to that 50% mark. Possibly all the way through the gap. Okay. Let's see. We'll know in just a second. There's the breaker bullish. The 50% retrace is at 820. I'd be comfortable with a round number, taking profit at round number, if it'll get there. Because we have these two opposing PD arrays, I'm not going to leave my risk on here. I'm only interested in upside. If it keeps going up, we're good. If it wants to come back down and retest that low, I'd rather just miss the trade. Thanks for watching.